For those who want to deepen a spiritual or religious practice of connecting and praying to God or some sort of higher power, one of the greatest tools you can use is journaling. Let's dig into it. Okay, so maybe you've heard about this idea of using a journal as part of a prayer practice or using a prayer journal. If you're new to this, no worries. We're going to break this down for beginners to help you use and start a prayer journal if this is something that you've heard about, or maybe you're hearing about it here for the first time and you say, hey, that's something I want to do. So we'll talk about that, why and the how. Now, let's talk about this in general. Now, prayer is a beautiful thing. It can take a lot of different forms depending on how each of us chooses to worship or connect with God or a higher power. And there's a lot of studies that show that having that connection to a higher power, something larger than ourselves, is actually very helpful for us in our life here on earth and our mental health and other things. And I have found over and over that journaling can be a great complement and enhancer to a regular prayer practice. Because sometimes, I know in my past, I have often treated prayer like putting in an order to God. Whether I'm sitting down or maybe I get on my knees and I say a prayer in my mind or out loud, I'm often saying, hey, here's all the things that I would like help with. But when I learned how to use my journal connected with my prayer practice, it's been a beautiful way to seek to connect with God and also receive and listen rather than just making prayer a one-way experience. So I feel like I'm actually getting communication back instead of me just sending my prayer up into the universe or to heaven or however I or you think about that. So that to me is one of the great benefits of using our journal as part of our prayer practice. So to start, if you're brand new to this, it's very simple. Just take out a journal, a notebook, and have a pen next to you when you pray. So say your prayer like you normally would, whatever your prayer practice looks like. Then, when finished, wait a moment. Listen. See what comes to your mind and heart. And then, take your journal and write down what comes. It's one of the easiest ways to do this. You can do this in just a few minutes, right? And yes, it does extend that prayer practice, but that's a beautiful thing to do anyway, right? But it's a beautiful way to just sit back and give God the time to talk to you instead of you just talking to God and then getting up and moving on with your day. You can also do similar things, not just connected to a formal prayer, but keep a journal next to you when you're studying sacred writings, scriptures, spiritual content, or writings of spiritual leaders or ideas that you find enhancing and beautiful for you. So not just reading, but recording what those things mean to you. And that's part of these additional ideas that may be coming to you. Those may be whisperings or connections from God. Okay? And the final way that I'll suggest if you're brand new and you want an additional structure is to do what's called two-way prayer. Okay, and in fact, I created a journal just for this purpose. It's called the With God Journal, and it will guide you and help you to do this. But very simply, you write a question to God down. You say, hey, this is something on my mind, so this is something on my heart that I'd like some guidance and help with. Maybe something as simple as like, what's your will for me today? Or I'm really working through this thing or that thing, or I'd love to improve this relationship. It can be anything that's important to you. Then you wait. You see what comes. You receive it. So you're waiting for that insight from God, but you're writing the question down, and then you wait and you listen and say, hey, what's coming to my mind and heart now in answer to that question? And start writing that down. It doesn't need to be perfect, right? You don't need to filter or ask yourself, hey, is this from God or is it not? Because if it's a good thing, it probably is from God. Okay? And then you're recording these beautiful learnings that you're getting. Okay? So if you're a beginner, you want to try out the concept of journaling as part of your prayer practice. I hope these ideas have been helpful for you. And again, if you want an extra bit of structure, the With God Journal is a great way to do that. We'll make sure to link in the description below for that so you can get your own copy or any of my other journals that might be helpful for you. This is just one thing. I love helping people in a holistic way through my coaching and my training practices. Really, this process of becoming is what I'm on the journey of, and I want to bring people along with me. So hope this has been helpful for you, and please reach out and connect if you want some extra help and support on your own journey of becoming, and let's talk about that. Thanks so much for being here, and we'll talk soon.